This is Sharon Massey. I am a Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator, and I just wanted to show you a really cute card made with a little wild. This is found in the 2017-18 Stampin' Up! Catalog. It's found on page 108. The bundle cost $43, and it is just so much more versatile than when you first look at it. And so I would like to show you the card I made, and it is, I think, really cute. This is what it is, and we've got "Hello There, Honey Bear." And what I like about this is the technique that was used to make it. I found this technique on a Jennifer McGuire video. It was using tulle that you can just pick up at any old, I know this is hard to see, but you can pick it up at any craft store. And this is 3 inches wide, and it's what I used to make a version of her card. She certainly didn't use this stamp set, but she did show me the technique on how to use this tool to create a window. And what's really neat about this card is when you use the tool here in this circle, you can give things a floating effect. And with this set, what's really cool is you've got the front part of the critter, but you can also have the back part of the critter in the card. So I'm going to show you how to make this. I'll give you the dimensions and everything, and we'll run through it real quickly. What you're going to need is a piece of So Saffron, and this So Saffron is 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. So that's going to give us our card base. Then I took a piece of black cardstock. This is just the basic black, and it measures 5 by 3 3/4. And on top of that, I layered the Whisper White, which is 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. And so that is the base that we're going to build upon. Now, one of the things that I just want to show you real quickly is how to get the circles cut so that they're pretty even. What you need is you need some kind of glue that is just a temporary adhesive. And I'm just going to use this and put a little bit on it. I do not want it to tear my cardstock, but I do want to line this up and get it as straight as I can and as even as I can so the border's pretty even. So we're going to go with this. And then what I'm going to do is bring my Big Shot over and put it in here. And I'm going to show you that I'm going to take this particular circle die. It's one that I've had for a really long time. When it cuts out a circle, I believe the circle measures 2 3/8. And what I'm going to do is line this up on here and try to get it centered the way I want it. I kind of want it the upper part of the card because I'm going to stamp down below. And I'm going to try to cut all 3 layers. Now, unless your Big Shot is different than mine, it is not going to cut all 3 layers. It may cut some of the layers, but it won't cut all of the layers. And now watch this prove me to be wrong. Here we go. And we'll just pull that out so that you can see it. We'll set that aside. We'll just slip this out. And what I want to show you is that when it cut the first layer, and it might have cut the second layer. Sometimes I get it, and it did, but it did not cut the next layer. But what's really neat about this, all you have to do is drop this die back into here like this, and then recut it, run it through the die cut again, and then you'll have all 3 layers cut. And so you're going to end up with something that looks like this. And if you'll notice, I've gone on and I have stamped "Hello There, Honey Bear" down on the corner. And I went on and I've glued the Whisper White onto the black. So that's ready to go. And what I'm going to do now is I am going to take a piece of this gauze, or rather tulle, and I'm just going to measure a pretty generous amount out so that it will be easy for me to glue. I may have to trim it once I get it in there. It's really hard for me to see because it is white. And I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to lay this on here. And I got way too much, but that's okay because I can just trim it off, and that way I know that I've got enough. So I'm just going to get my snail, and I'm really going to put a lot of snail on here. And I'm going to go around the edges here because I don't want this tool to go where I don't want it to go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take it. Now I do want to recommend to you that when you're putting it on, excuse me, there we go, my card's trying to get away from me. What you do is you actually stretch the tool when you're putting on. If you don't do that, and you can, if you want to, lay down the top part, making sure that you cover all of it, and then just kind of pull it. You want some tension, otherwise you get little wrinkles in there and it just does not look good. So we're just going to do that. And now what I can do is I can go in here and I can trim the tool off so that it does not extend beyond the card base. So we'll just do that real quickly. Got antique scissors. So, and I still have a little bit right there that I want to snip off. Like I said, this is kind of hard for me to see, but okay, that should do it. Doesn't have to be pretty. Okay, so, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back on, do I have any up here? Yes, I even have some at the top I need to. I was really very generous. I'm going to pull this up just a little bit and take some more off. Normally I would pre-cut this and kind of measure it. I just don't want to take the time to do that since the video has to be short. However, this may be taking as much time just trimming it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we've got that on there and we've got it nice and smooth. Now what I am going to do is go back over that and add more glue. And I'm going right on top of the tool and the cardstock. And now I'm ready to layer that onto my card base. So that's ready, going to be just about ready to go. And I want to just make sure I try to get it again lined up as best as I can. And there we go. So now you're ready to decorate it. When you decorate it, what you want to do is you want to go on and stamp out your bear. You want to stamp out 2 of the beehives, and you want to stamp out 2 sets of the bees. Each set has 3 bees in it. And then what you want to do is you want to die cut them. So when you die cut the bear, this is what you're going to get. And I just took my scissors and I trimmed it really close. And it's so much easier to trim these once they've gone through the big shot. But I've trimmed it so I end up, when I've done all of my cutting, I end up with my 2 bear pieces and my 2 beehives and my 6 little bees on there. I did put, when I mounted the bees, I used glue dots on it. So what you do once you've got that done is you can set that aside, or you can go on and mount it. But the next thing is you want to do the inside element of the card, and that's this part right here. You want to make this. And what you're going to use is you're going to use the largest stitched circle frame from the Stampin' Up catalog. I just love those frames. I've managed to bury my frame somewhere. Oh, it's really easy to do. So, it's right here. Okay. So now what you do is I just took some scraps and just used my scissors to cut hills and valleys. And then I just put these on top like this. I take my stitch circle and then I just find a place that I like that's probably where I'd put it. And then I just run it through the big shot and then I just glue the pieces together. Now I would like to have more than one shade of green. So I forgot to put this little guy in there. So we'll put that in there and then run it through. And we've got some little hills and valleys. And then you will end up with this piece right here. This piece will fit over this just perfectly. Okay, now that leaves us with this black frame that we have to cut out. And so what I did to do the black frame is I took a piece of black paper and I went on and I put the stitched frame, and then I put my smaller, once again, looking for the framelit. You try to be really organized on this, but there's so much stuff. So you put the smaller framelit on the inside. And so you're going to have one framelit inside of the other framelit. and you just line it up and run it through, and it will cut out these wonderful stitched borders. And then you just take your snail and glue it, and you glue it to your circle, and then you decorate your card. So you glue this on, and you stick your beehives on the netting itself and the little bee, and you do it on both sides. So when it opens, it's like this. Now that one, I don't have a finished frame on it. Let me pull this one over here. It looks nicer. So this one's got the finished frame on the inside, and you're ready to go. What a cute card. How whimsical. You know, you might think this is a children's card, but I've been sending cards for a really long time, and people, adult people, love getting cards that are light and are fun and a little bit whimsical. They enjoy getting those once in a while. So I would strongly recommend that you try this card. It is so easy, and I just wish you good luck. If you've got any questions, please feel free to go to my website. It's stampsidebyside.com. You can leave me a message and I'll answer. I hope you have a blessed day. Thank you for letting me come to your home. Bye-bye.